Oh my god. Oh my god. Is this freaking real life? I can't believe this. Okay. You have 2 lines.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Happy boy. Hi everyone, Daniella here, and here's my fiance Andrew, also known as Daddy Drew, Daddy Extraordinaire, Daddy,
Dada,
G's Daddy.
Captain guy, whatever you want to call me. Captain.
Oh my gosh, we're here at home and we have little G in his little Mamaroo swing over there, and I wanted to just take a second to talk about the birth of Geo because it was very memorable, and I think it'll be something that a lot of people would be interested to hear about, and also just something that we can reflect back on. Here, like, he's definitely pointing down. And Andrew is in the nursery meditating because I said, you know what? You do you, Bill. You gotta be your best self. And I just wanna make sure our house is all in order. Maybe even go for a walk. I don't know what I'm in for, guys. But let's go back to like when we originally found out we were pregnant and how we kind of thought this was all gonna pan out. Okay, so I told Andrew that I wanted a very natural birth. We were gonna do it in the bathtub or wherever felt natural for me.
Yep, ball, bed, floor.
Yeah, there was options, and that was our loose plan. We did not plan for what actually happened. Gio's original due date was October 4th. So cut to Friday, September 27th. I had just finished a workout with Tori and I was going to go get a smoothie, and I went into a parking lot and a car backed right into my driver's side door. And I was so shocked and scared. I saw the car coming at me and I just felt so helpless. I couldn't go anywhere. And my body kind of just went into a little bit of shock. My nerves were just shot and I kind of lost it for a little while. And that whole rest of the day was kind of a blur. I remember thinking, okay, I need to get a new car that's safe. I got to put the car seat in it because Gio can come at any time. Andrew left work. He met me at the rental car place. We swapped cars and the car seats. And that night, we finally like settled, got some dinner. I fell asleep and woke up to my water breaking. Not completely, but enough for me to notice that I was wet. And when I went into the bathroom and I looked at what was there, it was like a green color. And I know, I think I've mentioned this in past videos, maybe not, but apparently one of the signs of labor is when your mucus plug comes out, and it's usually supposed to be like a whitish pink color. Mine was very green or clear.
Yep.
And it was obviously green. So I sent pictures to my midwife, Simona. She was really concerned. And what happened after was very like a lot of steps. We tried to induce labor naturally by walking, curbing.
Yeah. So originally when you sent her the first set of pictures, she wasn't that concerned, right?
No, she didn't. She definitely said what it was. It was meconian. And then it was just kind of not urgent at the time. And then I think as I sent her more pictures, it became more and more urgent. So we wanted to induce labor naturally, quote unquote. So she had me go and get castor oil after sitting on a ball and walking the neighborhood and walking up and down stairs, didn't do anything. So I started kind of chugging the castor oil. Oh, it's like swallowing lip gloss.
Maybe talk a little bit about why she was trying to get things going for you.
She was worried about Gio's health because apparently if your mucus plug is green, that means that the baby went through some stress, which makes sense because of the accident. and he pooped in the womb. And unfortunately, when that happens, it can be really dangerous for the child because they can then suck up all of that into their lungs and become very ill, or worse cases, which we found out after the fact that people in our lives have had situations similar and their babies didn't make it. So we were pressed for time and kind of fighting the clock, and eventually had to make the decision to be put into the hospital. Change of plans, guys. We're now at the Whittier Hospital Medical Center. You know, sometimes it just doesn't work out the way you want it to. Walking into that hospital was a very surreal feeling. All we cared about at that point was making sure that Gio was okay and that we were, you know, in good hands. Oh, I'm just surviving right now. Ooh, this is good timing. And the next few things that happened were a little intense. I know that Andrew felt very scared at times because he had never seen me in a lot of pain. Eventually, when I went into real labor, the contractions were so severe from the castor oil and just, I think, losing all my fluid. It was just a lot very quickly. My body went into a lot of, I don't know what you would call like flailing and...
oh, there was a lot going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
They ruptured my water and it was horrendous. I guess it was so green and so disgusting, and they were worried about him. It was? Or it wasn't? Yeah, it was bad. Okay. I couldn't see. But then they pumped me with a bunch of fluid to keep him like circulated in cleaner water.
Mm-hmm. Well, they had to flush it all out.
Yeah. Do you want to go grab him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the man of the hour.
Oh my gosh.
I'll turn
It's
around
all
for you in a
like
second.
such almost a blur at this point because I feel like so much happens in birth, and I know that anyone who's ever been through it understands that it's a chaotic, emotional situation, and you feel like you have all this control. And this is one of the things that I had to like really come to terms with. For 9 months, I had so much control over how I ate and how I treated my body, and just being mindful of him and making good choices. And then at the very end, everything that you thought could happen, you know, happened or didn't happen. It kind of is just like a little crazy.
Yeah. Let's say, you know, you made up this whole plan in your head, and then you get into the moment and the whole plan goes to...
And it's all just for him. You're just at that moment like, how do we do what's right for him? How do we make sure that he's going to be completely safe and healthy? And that was my biggest concern. In another video, I did say that like when people ask me, are you scared of birth? And I said, no, like I always envisioned it being beautiful. I was going to be in the water or whatever. I was going to be peaceful. We were going to have candles. He brought plants. Like it was like this whole thing. We had crystals ready. And turns out the only thing that I really was scared of was something happening to him.
Yeah, you're missing some good stuff though.
What?
So when they ruptured her, they thought it would sort of get things moving. And we basically hung out for, call it 3 hours while you were laboring at that point.
Yeah.
And as a partner, that was something that I thought I was ready for. I did the best that I could, but it was definitely something that I didn't expect. I'd never seen, and I don't want to scare anybody, but with everything going on, I'd never seen anyone in so much pain, and there really just wasn't anything I could do but be there to support her, and be in her ear the whole time, make sure she knew I was there touching her.
He was literally, I mean, as close as a human could be to another human. Like, I felt like you were right here the whole time.
Yeah.
I felt really comforted.
So it was 3 hours of just feeling like this was never going to end.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and our midwife came back at that point to test and see how much she had dilated, and she had only dilated another ½ centimeter or something like that, and we were just shocked, right? And so at that point, you feel so low because you're like, holy, 3 hours of this, and we really got nowhere. Like, I don't know how much longer she could take it, or as her partner there, you know, just supporting you, how long I could take it. I couldn't watch you like that for much longer.
Yeah.
So with everybody's help, you know, and this was hard for her, and this goes totally against her plan. everyone decided that it was best that she got an epidural to relieve some of the pain.
And see if it would help the contractions. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what they thought, that I would
Well,
open up a
apparently
little easier.
Yeah, it relaxes you, and then
Yeah.
hopefully you'd start dilating.
I remember them telling me I had to be so still, and I was in like major labor at that point. And so I had my midwife like basically holding me, and then Andrew holding the mask so that I could get oxygen. And something came over me in that moment that made me just be like incredibly still so that I could get the needle on my back, because if you do it wrong, like it's not a successful epidural, and obviously we needed this to work.
Yep.
And it worked.
So she did it. The anesthesiologist rocked it.
Yeah, he was
amazing.
awesome.
So she gets this thing, right? And it's like the whole game changed.
You were so relieved.
She went from agonizing, it was miserable, to like, okay, now I'm just chilling.
Yeah.
So
she gave us a time at that point.
Yeah.
She basically said, like, if things don't happen in the next 30 minutes,
Mhm.
which was nothing, she goes, this baby's under too much stress. Like, we're risking his health and his life, and we have to make like quick decisions. And what we didn't know at the time was that the cord was also wrapped around his neck. So with every contraction I was feeling, he was being kind of like strangled a little bit.
And every time you had one,
I know,
baby's heart rate would drop
I know.
like 60 points or whatever they measure it by.
Yeah.
And so that did that 4 or 5 times in a row, and it kept worrying her. And every time it did it again, she was more and more concerned.
Mm-hmm.
And so eventually she just said, no more, this is what it has to be. So from that point.
Yeah. She basically handed us our little hats and gowns and said, you're getting a C-section like right now.
Feet, mouth, zipper in the front. Okay? And keep your arms inside the bed. I'm going to take her back. Yeah. You get dad too?
My dad.
Watch your hand now when we go through the door.
They pull this kid out, and it is the most magical thing I've ever experienced in my life. I can't, other than magical, I don't know if I have words to describe the emotions that you feel, especially after such a long, stressful day where you're concerned and worried and happy and everything. To watch this kid come out and be healthy.
We have a fighter here, like a real miracle baby. I thought that having the experience that I was gonna have, no drugs, like all natural, meant that I was strong and that I was doing the best thing for him. But in reality, any way that you're supposed to give birth to your baby is the way that you're supposed to do it, because it's all about the child being healthy, you being healthy, and everyone having, you know, this experience that you really can't plan for. I had an amazing pregnancy, and I'm really grateful for that. I enjoyed every second of it for the most part. I got very lucky. And you know, sometimes things just don't go the way that you envisioned, but in reality, it went completely the way we envisioned, because we have a healthy, beautiful little boy. I feel fine, you know, I got a little tattoo scar. No, it's not a tattoo, it's a real deal scar, but it's super cool, and I'm proud of all of us, and we came out so much stronger. Oh my gosh, we're home, and we're gonna introduce the dogs to little Gio. Cover him.
Come on, Mom.
Cover him with a blanket. Thank you for watching our birth story, you guys. I hope that you felt a little bit of the emotion that we felt. And if you have any other questions or comments, or if you have similar experiences that you've been through, please feel free to drop them in the comments below. You guys know how much I love to respond to those and how much I appreciate your input. And subscribe, because we've got a lot of memories to share with you guys and our little gremlin. So definitely subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you can be in the know at all times. And thanks for watching, and thanks for doing this.
You're welcome.
Love you, bud.